You're listening to the Crew Book Club podcast, the show that challenges you to change your mindset through hearing about dope books. Thanks for hanging with the crew to get advice, ask questions, and gain knowledge with me, your host, Sade Hill. What up, crew? What's good? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Crew Book Club podcast. Let's get into it. First of all, how y'all feeling? I'm feeling good, feeling great. Hey, I'm feeling good, feeling great. How are you? I just finished recording a special bonus episode. I'll let you know when it drops, cuz I am feeling excited. I am feeling real good. I had an amazing weekend, and so when you hear this, we would have completed the 4th of July weekend. Y'all celebrate the 4th of July? Do y'all do like barbecues and cookouts and stuff like that? My family is having one. So I record on Thursdays. So I had a good last weekend before I talked to y'all. And going into this weekend, I pray that it's good. So when you're listening to this right now in this moment, Monday, happy 4th, I should say. I don't know. I ain't say happy Juneteenth, so I feel bad saying happy 4th. Don't judge me. Anyway, so I hope you're feeling great. If not, hopefully after listening to the Crew Book Club podcast, you feelingbomb.com. And yeah, and you share this and you tell a friend and you leave a review for your girl to share on the podcast. We'll get into that in a minute because we did get some crew love. Loving the crew. All right. First of all, before we get into loving the crew and all of that, let's talk about who gonna check me, boo. God is, and he is always checking us because we need to be checked every now and then. And I need to be checked. And this scripture popped up. This is the only scripture highlighted in the Bible. And it's not even like my top favorite scripture. My favorite scripture is Romans 8:28. Look it up. But this particular scripture is Nehemiah chapter 9, verse 16. It reads, "But you are a forgiving God, gracious and compassionate, slow to anger, abounding in love." I needed this, y'all, because your girl needed to be forgiven. I think sometimes we live in this moment where we may do something, and thank God, God gives us grace and mercy every day. And I am living a life of no regrets, okay? I am doing things that make me happy, and I'm just excited. So I've allowed certain things to happen that maybe probably shouldn't happen, but God is a forgiving God. And when I read this scripture, it just was what I needed to hear. But you are a forgiving God. So no matter what we've done or what we go through, he is a forgiving God. And I'm thankful for God's forgiveness. So that was the who gonna check me, boo. Real cute, sweet, and simple. Sometimes we just need to know he is a forgiving God. And when I was flipping through the Bible and I was like, okay, God, I need you to touch my soul. And in that script, and I saw the highlight and I was like, oh, what did I highlight in my Bible? Because I don't really highlight my Bible. And the Nehemiah chapter 9, verse 16 came up. So thankful for that. He checked me in that moment that he will forgive me. Okay, let's get into crew love. Hurry up. Crew love, thank you for leaving another 2 weeks in a row that we were left a review. And I am super excited about that. The review this week comes from Sarina Love 89. It says, I absolutely love hearing Sade discuss these books. It's easy and fun to listen to. I anticipate each episode. The title was Love the Books. I'm so happy that you're loving the books. I love these books too. I try to read things that's going to get you hyped and motivated, but I also try to read the stuff that you know you're not going to read. That book going to be boring. I make it fun. Okay, so thanks for hanging with the crew. All right, so all of the books I tried to that we've read so far is on Audible. We have a partnership with Audible. You can check that out. Because sometimes maybe reading the book is too much, but listening to it can be easy for you. Or you could just keep coming on here and hearing me talk about the key points. I have some people who absolutely love Audible, and I have some people that's like, oh, it's cool, but they use it for other things. Like they have theatrical performances on there. They have other podcasts. They have a little bit of everything. You'll be surprised. They have wellness programs. They have comedy on there. So you might not listen to it for books, but you can try it for other things. So get your free capital FREE 30-day experience with audible.com/crewlove. The promo code is crewlove, CREWLOVE, audible.com. All right. I'm sorry. I just had a moment of thought and it made me laugh. This week, we're getting to chapter 9, the role of family and friends in shaping your habits. And I just want to focus on chapter 9 this week because it had so many good pointers that I just don't want to rush through them, okay? And I want us to take our time. So we're going to hop into that for our book, Atomic Habits by James Clear, an easy and proven way to build good habits and break bad ones. All right, we want to break the bad habits so we can catapult our lives into better habits, better people, and all that good growth. I hope you guys have had an opportunity to experience BetterHelp, the sponsor of this episode, exclusively for our book club podcast listeners to get 10% off of professional therapy. BetterHelp.com/crewlove. That's BetterHelp.com/crewlove. It will be in the show notes. I had someone sign up and they messaged me and they were like, I'm so happy I tried. They were like, I was avoiding therapy for the longest time, but they just got to the point where they were so sick and tired of being sick and tired. And they were listening to the episode about habits. And they were like, you know what? This is a habit I want to start. I want to start going to therapy. So I'm happy that you picked up the therapy habit and take full advantage of it. And they were like, I'm going to just do it for the month, get the 10% off, and I might quit. And I was just like, okay, you say that, but then next month you're going to be like, oh my God, I need to talk to somebody. Trust me, I tried to cut it off and I couldn't. So whenever I need therapy, I just hop back on there and I can use my same therapist or you can pick a new one. So anyway, the role of family and friends in shaping our habits. Yes, you know how family and friends are people who mold us. We look around, we end up taking up some of their beliefs and some of their ways, and we tend to flock with people that have the same mindset as us, right? And in the story, in the beginning of the chapter 9, it talks about a father who homeschooled his kids and surrounded them with chess. And the kids' culture was prioritized by chess. That's all they did, day and night. It was their life. It was their culture. And the dad was so committed that it overtook the kids. And one night the dad goes into the bathroom and it's late at night and one of the kids is literally in the bathroom floor playing chess. And the dad says, you need to leave those pieces alone. And the young girl turns back to him and said, Daddy, they won't leave me alone. And I'm like, whoo, obsessed, right? And it's funny because I just had this conversation with a friend of mine and her daughter wants to be a singer. Like she wants to be Lele. That's what mama say. Hey, mama say. And I was just like, oh my gosh, she might be a little Lele or Ariana Grande and all of that. And I'm like, well, that doesn't come lightly. And there's this sensibility that a responsibility that a parent has. And it's one of those things where it's like, okay, what is my responsibility to do to make her become that? But then there's this other side of like, okay, what will that look like? Because then I have to be the disciplined manager of her and her skill and craft, where that is all she has to surround herself with. And do I become the Matthew Knowles? Do I become the Richard Williams, like Serena Venus dad? Do I become the Joe Jackson, where maybe the relationship may be altered as mother and child, but I'm altering it to catapult them into where they need to be? And it's like figuring out that dynamic as a parent to push our kids just enough where they still love us. But then you look at Beyonce or the Jacksons and you're like, but look at the amount of success that they got. But also look at the crazy that came with it, or the relationship dynamic. You know what I'm saying? So reading that was just like, wow. All right, so let's get into it. It's on we're going to start on page 114, where he says, whatever habits are normal in our culture are among the most attractive behaviors you'll find. Humans are herd animals. We want to fit in, to bond with others, and to earn the respect and approval of our peers. So true, right? And you might say it's not true, but whatever group you're in, you're going to find your herd and you're going to want the respect and approval of them. I don't care what tribe you in. It's just depending on what that tribe is producing. And I feel like with the crew, I want us to be a tribe that's producing success, great mindset, and growth and positivity, right? So if I'm going to be in any herd, I'm going to be in the crew herd. Okay. All right. So it also says the social norms are the invisible rules that guide your behavior each day. Like what we see in society are the habits that we take on. And the immediate habits of the three groups in particular are the close, family, friends, the many, and the powerful. And I was just like, ooh, let's deep dive into these. So the close on page 116 through 117 talks about imitating the close. Ooh, this point, listen closely. We pick up habits from people around us. We copy the way our parents handle arguments, the way our peers flirt with one another, the way our coworkers get results. We do. As a general rule, the closer we are to someone, the more likely we are to imitate some of their habits. Do we not? Our friends and family provide a sort of invisible peer pressure that pulls us in their directions. I don't know about y'all, but there's times where I struggle with parent approval and what they thought was good. Like the only reason why I went off to college, child, is because of my mom. That's what she wanted. I graduated because that's what she wanted. Am I upset about it? No, college was an experience. Everybody can't do it. But at the same time, it was the peer pressure from that. And it's like, well, I didn't make you. Well, you kind of did. Or, you know what I'm saying? Well, you could have. No, really, could I? So it says here, one of the most effective things you can do to build better habits is to join a culture where your desired behavior is the normal behavior, and new habits seem achievable when you see others doing them every day. Hey, the crew. A birds of a feather do flock together. I used to try to deny that, like, I ain't gonna do what my friends do, da. But out of all of my friends, the majority of us, except I think maybe one or two, graduated from college. Or not even, I ain't gonna say graduate, but we all took some higher level of learning, or we're all high achievers in our workplace. Like, we don't play. Okay. But that's because of how we surround ourselves. Majority of us are homeowners. Like, so think about who you surround yourself in. I was watching a post on Instagram with a guy, I can't think of the guy's name, but he was just like, look around and see who your friends are, and that's where you're going to be at 5 years later. So my intentions is to be in places that makes me uncomfortable. I don't want to be the smartest one in the room. Okay. Listen here, to make your habits even more attractive, 2 things. Join a culture where your desired behavior is the normal behavior, or 2, you already have something in common with the group, and not just something. I suggest being a part of a group that's going to catapult you into where you want to be. Common dreams, or have the same aspirations and understand. Like, I have a group of girls that are masterminds, entrepreneurs, and trying to grow. I have one that's a podcaster. These are the people that understand the struggles and dailies of what I'm going through to get to the next level. So evaluate that. And that's about who we're close to. So it's cool. I ain't saying cut people off. What I'm saying is limit the time that you spend with them until you can get to a certain level where you can handle that and pour into them, but also have the crew and the people that pour into you that's on the same level, okay, and where you're trying to get to. All right, so let's talk about the second step, the many on page 120. Imitating the many. This is so good. It says, whenever we are unsure how to act, we look to the group to guide our behavior. The normal behavior of a tribe often overpowers the desired behavior of the individual. The reward of being accepted is often greater than the reward of winning an argument, looking smart, or finding truth. Most days, we'd rather be wrong with the crowd than right by ourselves. I can't get with that, but I can see the science behind that. There was an experiment they did in the book where they did like a line test, and there was clearly a line longer than one line, but they strategically put people in there to disagree. And over time, the more and more people disagreed, the people who know they were right end up agreeing with the majority because they didn't want to look stupid. And this may sound crazy coming out my mouth, but I'm going to embrace looking stupid to some people. Like, I'm going to be doing things, you are going to be doing things that's going to not look so, that's not going to make sense to anybody else. They're going to be like, oh, you dumb, da-da-da-da-da. Well, I'll be a Noah. I'll build my boat, I'll build my business, and it might not make sense to you, but the rain is going to come, okay? T.D. Jakes preached about that in a message, and it's like, the rain will come. You build your boat. You do what you need to do, and the rain will come. They'll catch up, boo-boo, okay? So continue to do what you need to be doing. I really like that. So I would rather be wrong and look crazy, but know that I'm right, and to move forward and keep it P. Because you're going to turn around. You're going to be like, oh, snap. I thought Sade starting a podcast was crazy. Oh, you wasting too much time. Why you doing that? Da-da-da-da-da. Oh, baby. Just wait and see. So I want you on that same tip. That's why you need to be part of the crew. We ain't playing with people. We get to the next level. And we willing to look stupid for it. Okay? All right. So it also says, the human mind knows how to get along with others. Y'all, it's a science to it, but when you start to recognize it in your brain and realize what's happening, then we can change it. It says it wants to get along with others. This is a natural mode. All right? You can override it. You can choose to ignore the group or stop caring what other people think, but it takes work. Running against the grain of your culture requires extra effort. It's okay. I struggle daily. Listen, y'all, I be wanting to go back to a regular job so bad sometimes just for a check. Because it be iffy out in these real estate streets sometimes. Even with the podcast, like, I don't get money for this. I do this because I naturally love it and I want it to grow and I know it will monetize one day. But right now, sometimes I be like, how much Target charging? Can I go in part-time to get my little $20 an hour? You know what I'm saying? But I love it. It's worth it. And I'm willing to look crazy and do this thing with y'all because I love the crew. All right? All right. So let's get into the third one. Imitating the powerful. Child, we all want to. I ain't gonna say we all want to be powerful, but if you listen to this podcast, you definitely want some power and status. It's not about wanting the power and status. It's about how we use it. Okay? Because we can use power and status for good or we can use it for bad. And if you listen to the Crew Book Club podcast and you hang with me, we want to use power and status for good. Like, I want to make money to be able to bless other people and to sow seeds into my community. That's why I want to make money. Okay? So listen, humans everywhere pursue power, prestige, and status. I don't care what anybody say. If they say it, I don't want all of that. It's okay, but if they had it at their fingertips and it was offered to them, I'm pretty sure most of us would take it, okay? It says we are drawn to behaviors that earn us respect, approval, admiration, and status. Now, you might say, well, I don't want to be the president or the Beyonce of the world. But at your job, you may want to be the boss that walks in, make her own schedule, and do what it do. You know what I'm saying? That's still power and status. It might not be on a $1 billion level or a 6-figure level. You might be at McDonald's, but you want to be the manager of that McDonald's. So you can come in there and people be like, oh, we can't play with her. You better get on them fries, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Power and status is in our natural being. Okay? Why you think we in love with social media? We love seeing people with power and status. Okay? Why you think people got to lean their head to the left and show their head rest, knowing you don't drive like that, looking all crooked in the neck? You know you don't have your watch sitting like that on your arm when you're taking a picture. I mean, sometimes, but not every time. All right? Once we fit in, we start looking for ways to stand out. Okay? Once we're in a group, you're still looking for ways to stand out in your group. Stop lying to yourself. This is one reason we care so much about the habits of highly effective people. Okay? People be denying that. We are also motivated to avoid behaviors that would lower our status. Listen to this. We trim our hedges and mow our lawns because we don't want to be the slob of the neighborhood. When our mother comes to visit, we clean up the house because we don't want to be judged. Oh, I remember this side note. This takes me back to a time I was in college and my mom came and visit me and I didn't even, I straightened up, but I ain't really clean. Oh, she talked about me like a dog. She was like, girl, you ain't get behind the toilet. Da, 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 da. I'm like, well, who goes back there? So the next time she visit, I was like, oh, I'm scrubbing with a toothbrush. I'm getting in this toilet. Like, I'm going all in the back and around. Like, nah, if a nigga come in here and he look back there, you doing too much. But that's a habit I do. When people come over, your house be spick and motherfucking span. All right, pie and salt smelling, candles all lit. Your house ain't like that all the time. Mine is. I have a slight OCD. Anyway, But anyway, we can relate to that whole cleaning up on a Saturday with the music on growing up. That definitely transitions into your adulthood. Those are good habits our parents taught us. Anyway, we continually wondering what will others think of me and altering our behaviors based on the answer. I can't stand when people are like, well, I don't care what people think of me. Okay, if you really didn't care what people thought of you, you would be homeless living on the street. Would you die? Not homeless, but you ever think why we work so hard for things? Like, God really didn't put us on here to be like this. Like, everything we need is on earth in the land. Like, who said that we needed multi-million-dollar mansions? And why somebody been in a $1 million house and there's only 2 people living in there? Like, come on. Like, are we even using our wealth properly? Okay, and there's people out here still starving and need to eat. So those were like the top, those were the 3 things that chapter 9 focused on: the role of family and friends in shaping our habits. And that was really good. I was just like thinking of, this is a really good perspective to think of, like, who am I? And I can't think, darn it. Who am I looking up to? Who am I imitating? Am I imitating the right people? If I'm going to imitate someone, I want to imitate someone that is positive, that cares about others, that has sympathy for people, and can put themselves, sympathy and empathy, at the right times. Like, those are the people that I want to look up to. When I become a multi-millionaire, I want to have world-class attitude where I'm giving back to my community and my family and my friends in the proper way. And I want to be teaching people how to fish. You know what I'm saying? So chapter 9 was really good. So let's really focus on how the people we are around shape our habits, okay? All right, let's get into the challenge of the week. The challenge of the week is find a new flock. I need you to find a new flock. Besides following the Crew Book Club, and all of that, and being part of the crew on the podcast and on social and on YouTube, I want you to either join or create a group of people that is tailored to your desired behaviors. That was inspired by chapter 9 on page 18, 118. It says right here, nothing sustains motivation better than belonging to the tribe. When you join a book club, hey, the Crew Book Club podcast, or a band or a cycling group, your identity becomes linked to those around you. Growth and change is no longer an individual pursuit. The shared identity begins to reinforce your personal identity. This is why remaining part of a group after achieving a goal is crucial to maintaining your habits, okay? So this week, I want you to find a new flock. A flock, the flock of, I forgot to say it. Birds of a feather flock together. Get it together, y'all. I'm telling you that, but I'm also telling me that. Get it together, Sade, okay? Listen, go out there and find a new flock. Now, you don't have to dish your old flock. And if they see you with your new flock, be like, do you want to join the new flock with a positive, embracing attitude? Because if not, you need to stay over there. Because this new flock is positive and we embrace people. And we're looking for people that we want to be like or want to be in the same likeness. So if for me, I'm a podcaster. I found another podcaster that I bonded with. I have my masterminds with 2 other entrepreneurial women. We come together, we brainstorm. Even if it's someone at your job, if you guys both want to be managers, hang out with that person. Y'all are not in competition with each other. Y'all are sharpening each other's skills. Like y'all both want to be managers, right? So, okay, girl, what can we do to both stand out since we have the same goal? You might not be the manager in that department, but there might be another department. But if one of us become manager, then we can look out for each other. So when I grow, I can put you in that spot. Like, be strategic with your flock. And just don't think people in your flock is hating on you. Like, y'all all trying to go to the same level. If they hating on you, baby, that's not the flock for you. Find your new flock. All right? So that's the challenge of the week, is to find a new flock. Find birds that's going to soar, not birds that's going to pigeon around and eat anything. Okay? So that was your challenge of the week. I came up with some of that on the fly, y'all. Creative. You look up creativity, my name gonna be right there. My face. Cheese. Anyway. Okay. What would the crew do? Listen, I didn't get nobody asking for no advice this week. Y'all slipping. Y'all sleep. But I'm going to give you some advice. Oh, I did all during episode. So, yeah, please, if you would like some advice or anything, you need help figuring out what to do, you need a scenario, something, I don't know, a business adventure, an idea, or anything like that, please DM the Crew Book Club on Instagram. You can also drop it in the comment section in our YouTube channel, or you can email thecrewbookclub@gmail.com. I don't care how you get it. Just get it to me because I love giving advice. All right. So I can't leave this episode without a quote of the week. Yes. Let me give you a quote of the week. It is from our author, James Clear, from our book, Atomic Habits. It says, when changing your habits means challenging the tribe, change is unattractive. When changing your habits means fitting in with the tribe, change is very attractive. Y'all, go out and create your tribe and be attractive. Make it fun. Embrace the new attractive habit of you. All right. Thanks for hanging with the Crew Book Club. Thanks for hanging with the Crew Book Club podcast. I will holla at y'all later. Hey. Want to be a part of the crew? hit that follow button so you'll never miss an episode. And while you're at it, I would appreciate you showing crew love by rating the show on iTunes and Spotify. Don't keep all this goodness to yourself. Share and tell a friend so your whole crew can be growing with you. Let me be the first to tell you, welcome to the crew.